Hello guys, welcome back to another, let's get comfortable, another tips and tricks video. And today I said I'll do a panel lining video. Essentially what I do, there are different various methods, but this is the method I use, and it seems to work just fine. Before we get started, there are various different types of panel lining equipment out there that I don't have, like Gunpla markers. Now Gunpla markers can go straight onto plastic, I think, and you can use rubbing alcohol on a cotton bud. Put some rubbing alcohol on a cotton bud, allow it to evaporate slightly, and just let the fumes do the work, and you rub it over the piece ever so slightly. Once you put the Gunpla marker on, you've got a bit of excess, just use a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the Q-tip. Let it evaporate ever so slightly, because you don't want to be getting drips and stuff on the piece, because it will run and it will just be a nightmare. So just let it evaporate slightly and just rub it on the piece until you've got all the excess that you want off. If you've got a line, try to go, and you want a panel line channel, try to go adjacent to the piece rather than down the channel, and you will start to see the excess coming away. If you've done a right massive splurge down there, obviously you can go down the line. Obviously you'll take away the excess that you want. But in terms of the system that I use Tamiya's Accent Black. It comes in grey and a brown and I think another colour. I'm not entirely sure. It might be like a reddish brown or something. And it's enamel. Now this is quite dangerous in terms of vapours and stuff, and it's enamel, so just wear a mask, ventilated area, all that sort of stuff. And also do not put this on bare plastic, especially plastic like moving parts or ABS or anything like that. Anything that's well, any plastic, just avoid putting it on bare plastic at all. To make sure that this doesn't eat into the plastic, you use a clear coat, a water-based product like acrylic water-based, because water-based, once it dries, won't affect the enamel and vice versa. So what I use for that process is floor wax. Who knew? This Pledge multi-surface wax, I think they stopped making this. I bought this years ago, and it is literally 90% full still, because you only use a little bit. Now it's called Pledge multi-surface wax, but I think it's called something else now. But if you look for the Johnson's Pledge, and just make sure that it's the acrylic based. Once this dries on the piece, it is shiny, you get a nice gloss, and it gives you the ability for this to run using capillary action. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this piece now with the airbrush, and then I will be back to do the panel line. No, I'm not. I'm going to use a brush. I'm an idiot. I've got a brush especially. Now this is a flat wash brush. This is ideal for putting on lacquers and top coats and stuff like that. And this stuff, you don't need to dilute in the airbrush. It goes straight in. Do what you got to do on a low PSI. I normally go at about 10 PSI. Put really thin coats out, because it comes out quite wet. Nice, just really thin coats. Build it up until you're happy with the thing, with the effect. Once it's dried, like I say, you do your panel lining and then all your decals, and then once it's all dried, you can do a top coat of your choice. But this does brush on, so let's do that now. Get that out of the way, because I will knock that over. I knock stuff over all the time. Okay, get your piece. And brush it on. Now where it sits heavy, or you see like pools starting to form, just take it away with the brush. Just hold the brush on there, and it will take the bubbles away, the pooling, if you like. If you see little bubbles, a little blow, and it will self level, and that is it. And then let it dry, and we'll be back. Hello guys, welcome back. Okay, now this stuff is dried, and now what I'm going to do is apply some panel liner. So, sorry, give it a shuffle, give it a shake, because it might have separated. I don't know if this is the case, but I do it anyway as a matter of course. I think it does say shake well. I'm not entirely sure, but just do it anyway. Then carefully, I mean, I should be wearing gloves and enamel stuff, you don't want to get it on your skin, but I've been doing it long enough to not have to worry about that. I'm using stuff on sticks and I'm using the applicator. Now after you've got some on the brush, I generally wipe it on the edge of the rim to get some of the excess off, because some of the excess is on the stalk itself and it runs down and it pulls on the piece. So take a piece off and then line it up. Gently dab it on. Where you want it to go. What? That's it. Now you've got your lines. There's a bit of excess on there. Some of the wet excess, just take away straight away. And there you go. Now if you leave it to dry and you want to take some of the excess off that is in an area like say this piece here, there's a little bit that's pulled just there, you can just get a bit of Zippo. Now I've chosen Zippo because this is light fluid and it's widely available all around the world. There's obviously loads of different types of light fluid, but this stuff is better than you can get Tamiya enamel thinner. I think it's X20, the acrylic one's X20A, but if you get that, it's quite harsh and it might eat into the lacquer. So this is really it's not as harsh. It's quite delicate on the piece, so just get a little bit on your Q-tip, let it evaporate a little bit and let the fumes do the work. And gently just take away the excess. Don't put any pressure on it, like I say, let the fumes do the work. And clean up the piece. And that is it, really. It's all detailed. And then you let it dry. And there you go. Now, with the acrylic, you do put a dab on, and it uses capillary action because it's got a nice smooth surface, and then he runs. And if you've got a long run, especially like with shields and weapons and pieces, got long panel lines, the longer you hold the piece, like the brush in place, the capillary action will then follow all the way down, and you might have to do a couple more dabs, but it's really that simple. You just let it do its thing, put it where you want it to go. Good. And there you go, job done. Now, a lot of people only do panel lines, but you can do it to raise areas, such as like hoses and creases, all round here, all around raised edges, where two joins meet. You can do a seam, so to speak. Or just gaps and panels. Ugh. Come back. Oh. Simple as that. Now in recesses and stuff like that, all I do, like I say, same method, take the excess off, just smush it in there, wherever you want. Because it will settle around all the edges and where you want it to go. Like I say, along lines like that, where joins meet. And that way you've now got definition along bits of plastic which would have just looked flat. It sort of breaks up the surface. Some pieces you probably won't see this, but I know it's there. And there you go. But like I say, if you're going to be using this and taking off the excess with the Zippo lighter fluid, like I say, just use a cotton bud, let it evaporate a little bit, and just be ever so gentle. You can, and if you take away too much, you know, let it dry for a little bit, add some more. You know, you layer it up. But as long as you put an acrylic base down, like a gloss base, to protect the plastic and the paint especially, because this stuff will destroy plastic. It will just eat through it. It will just crumble. But you won't believe how quick it happens as well. So that is it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Give us a like and a share and all that sort of stuff, and a sub, and share the love. And I'll speak to you in the next one. Cheers, guys.